Cool. So,
What are we doing, Stan?
well, we're going to talk a little bit about WandaVision.
Oh
This is
yeah.
just one of those episodes where Hannah and I were like, we should probably start getting ahead, but we recorded yesterday, and so we didn't have a lot of time to prepare for this one. So, buckle
And
in.
also, by the time this one comes out, WandaVision will be over, but we haven't seen the end of WandaVision.
Yeah, right, which is why I think we should just like speculate on what's going to happen because it'll
Oh,
be
okay.
absolutely no, I don't. I really think I'd have no idea what's going on. Um, I do have one thing right off the bat. Well, hold on. I guess we should say this is Girls on Film,
Yep.
and I'm Addy.
And I'm Hannah.
We'll just get into that.
Welcome.
This is the most, well, I guess we could also talk about the Golden Globes a little, but this is the
Yeah,
most
we'll
important thing.
just sprinkle stuff around.
Yeah, this is going to be great. The one most important thing I have to say about WandaVision is so the after credits scene in the most recent episode where Vision's like
Yeah, I was
white.
screaming.
So immediately I was like, oh my God, do you remember when he was an albino in the Da Vinci Code? And Stephen was like, why are you like so excited about this? And I was like, because he looks like he's an albino. And I was just like, it was one of those things where like I know Vision's played by Paul Bettany, but like it doesn't necessarily compute in my brain all the
Okay.
time. And I forgot he was in Da Vinci Code, like genuinely forgot. And then saw him
I've never
like
seen Da
all
Vinci
white,
Code.
and I was like, he's literally like this albino monk or I don't know what he is. He's like some kind of like religious
Okay.
guy, and he like beats himself.
Oh, self-flagellation. That's
Yeah.
a thing religiously, right? I don't know.
It's wild, I tell you. So I just got really excited about that. Like it has nothing to do with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but I was like,
Oh, okay.
Da Vinci
You were
Code.
like, here I am, Da Vinci Code.
Yeah.
Yeah, we both have watched, well, so I've been watching WandaVision as it's gone along. You like binge watched one through
Almost
eight,
all
right?
one through
Yeah, like,
seven. 1 through 7.
okay. And yeah, is it explicitly queer? No. But is everything implicitly queer? Yes. So
Yes.
not that I wasn't excited about this show, because like overall I'm like generally excited for Marvel content, like just like baseline. I enjoy
Yeah.
it. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll watch WandaVision. And then after that first episode, I was just like, oh my God, I have to know. I have to know everything. Oh my God.
Right.
And it was just like every week I feel like I was like, Addie, you need to watch WandaVision. And then finally you did. And it was so great.
I don't know why I have had a big resistance to it, but like to me between this one and then Falcon and Winter Soldier,
and
like whatever, that one excited me more just because I'm like very attached to Bucky and his character. And like that, like
but okay, but also queer coded. Like,
oh, it was absolutely
I mean,
yes. But I was like very attached to, and like the humor between
yeah.
Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan is like really, I don't know, I just love that. And I feel like prior to this show, Elizabeth Olsen hasn't necessarily had the chance to like fully connect with the audience as a
Yeah.
character. So I was just kind of like, man, okay, whatever. Like, I don't really care about
Right.
it.
Like we got to see a lot of big moments from her, I feel,
Right.
but like we didn't really get to learn about. And I guess in this most recent episode where they said Scarlet Witch, like that was the first time she was actually referred
Right.
to.
Exactly.
It was like a big thing. And I don't actually know that much about the comics, but yeah, I was like, I'll watch it, but I'm like, would I die for Wanda? No. And now I would
absolutely.
die for Wanda.
Yeah. Same. And I think that that's like maybe
The point.
the point. Yeah. Like, and like also like the marketing was so weird. I was like, what is this going to be like about? And so I wanted to wait until like a few episodes came out. In general, I feel that way. Like the weekly release show that's on like streaming that I watch weekly was The Mandalorian because I just
I
get
still
like,
haven't watched.
I think you'd be like meh about the first season. I felt that way about it. I was like, I mean, I can tell objectively that it's fabulous, but I'm not that invested. And then for some reason, the second season came around and every single episode I was like really, really excited by. So I don't know. It's one of those, but I just sometimes like the week to week release for me is like painful, especially for shows like
It
this.
has
Like
been.
Handmaid's
Yeah.
Tale comes April 28th, I think. And
There's a new
that's gonna
season.
totally, yeah, it's gonna fuck me up. And like it like came out of nowhere. Like they dropped like I think they called it a teaser trailer, but it's fairly long.
Oh.
And I think Billie Eilish is playing. And it's just like, I'm just not ready for that again. Cause like I literally would stay awake in Atlanta until midnight and watch
The new
the
episode.
new episode because it's like that good. And that's how
Yeah.
I was like worried that Marvel was gonna do the same shit to me. This show is painful to wait for. I'm hoping Falcon and Winter Soldier's.
That's what I have no clue what the plot even is of do we know it all?
I
Also
think it's kind
they're
of the storyline where Falcon becomes like
Captain America.
Captain America.
Okay.
That's my understanding. I've only watched the trailer like one time, and it was like the trailer they showed during the Super Bowl. I never watched the full
Oh,
one online because I'm a
yeah.
psycho, and I really do feel like they show way too much shit in trailers now.
Mhm.
So I've just like avoided them like the plague. Like if they release a teaser trailer, I'm like, cool, cool, cool. Like,
Yeah.
yes. But those long, like 2.5 minute trailers that are like on YouTube, sometimes it's like the whole movie or the
Mhm.
whole show. And I'm like, I don't want to know that much before I go into it. Cause then I feel like I go into it with like preconceived
Yeah.
ideas.
Which is kind of why I liked the way that they went about WandaVision, because half of the reason why I started watching was just to figure out what was going on. Like you
Right.
saw these little bits and pieces, and you were like, what does literally any of that mean? And
Yeah.
yeah, I that was a big pull for me to just be like aware of what was happening. And then I got
Right.
emotionally invested.
Well, and then I think so. I know personally of like one person who's watching this show that's never really seen anything in the Marvel universe, Chelsea.
Wait, I
Shout
was
out
gonna
to
say, is
you.
it Chelsea? Because I've seen her tweets
Yep.
about it.
And like, I think it's what's really cool is that this show, I think, could bring a lot of like just fans of like television into the Marvel universe. Because I think it's such a not confusing, but like you just don't know what's going on, even if you've seen all the Marvel movies. So it doesn't really matter. Like you're just
Yeah.
like, no matter who you are, you're just like, what the fuck is happening? And so I liked that. And I know a lot of people like kind of shat on the most recent episode as of right now, which is episode 8, I think.
Yeah,
Um,
they did.
be-
Quite rude.
because it goes through like Wanda's story
Backstory.
and we kind of see like we don't see anything that we've seen before, but it's like very like expository, like it's just like this is what happened to her. But at the same time I'm like, well, what that does is allows like all of these people who haven't seen, the Avengers movies to
Mhm.
understand what's going on. And I think that's so cool because I think it'll bring more of the like I don't want to say like the snobby crowd, but like
Yeah.
I think
Well, even
people.
within Marvel, there's like such a, snobby crowd, and then like
Oh, yeah.
there's such a spectrum of people who are invested in Marvel things.
Yeah.
I liked this last episode for several reasons. And even as like I've seen all of the Marvel movies, I've watched all of the stuff. Like I enjoyed seeing that backstory and learning more about her and how like things from her
Well, right.
childhood have directly shown up in the show now.
And I think it's super different. Like they didn't pull footage from like
Right, from the
the
old movies and
movies. They had new stuff. And I think seeing like she first shows up in Age of Ultron
mhm,
and she says to Tony, she like comments about the bomb or the missile that dropped on her town and said
mhm.
that she saw the name Stark on it. And it's one thing to like hear that as a line in a movie and understand that's part of her backstory, but it's a totally different situation to like actually physically see that on screen.
Yeah.
I think it's way more impactful when you get to see it. And
Mhm.
so I don't care that I already knew that. Like
Yeah.
I've never
Right, but
seen
then like
it.
those big Marvel, like the big Avengers movies, like the
Hmm.
group ones, I guess. Like there's just not time for all of that
Right.
to fit in there. But we know stuff about the other ones because Iron Man has 3 movies, Captain America has 3
Right.
movies. They
Hmm.
all, Thor, all this stuff, all the male protagonists have these like huge storylines that we get to see
Hmm.
developed over years and years and years and like interwoven and all that stuff. And then we're just now getting a Black Widow standalone movie. We're getting WandaVision, like we have Captain
Well,
Marvel.
right.
Incredible. Love
And
that.
but I'd argue like and this is like gonna be like but I think that for me, like Captain Marvel as a whole was fairly flat as like a
Oh, I love Captain Marvel.
film. Like I just think of like female-led superhero films. I was kind of like, okay, like I really loved her relationship with like the Rambo
Maria.
family or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah. I thought that was really cool, but overall the movie I was like I got all emotional about it because it was like the first
Yeah.
one, but like objectively, I was kind of just like it wasn't. I don't know. I just think Marvel's done women like super dirty and like
Yeah.
especially Black Widow. Like, okay, thank you so much for this movie. And now that she's dead and you've also her entire character arc was about how she couldn't have fucking kids. Like
Right.
and dated the Hulk, which made dead ass no
No
sense.
sense.
And so I'm just like it just like annoys me because I feel like this WandaVision is really the first relatable female character we've seen.
Mm.
Like I think I don't
Yeah,
know. I feel
because
like
over like when I think about it, Wonder Woman was huge, like
mhm,
for me as a human, and I also really loved Captain Marvel,
mhm.
but I've rewatched Wonder Woman a million times. I've only rewatched Captain Marvel a couple times, like watching through all of it usually. Like I don't pick to watch it just out of all of them.
Right, because I think Wonder Woman made her it even though Wonder Woman's like this fucking goddess from an island, like it made her relatable enough. Like, and it's
Yeah.
funny and it's cute and there's moments that are like intentionally cheesy and like that movie I saw multiple times in the movie theater.
Yeah.
Captain
I
Marvel
think I saw Captain Marvel twice, but
I saw it once and I liked it. It just I don't think as of right now, the way they've developed the
mhm,
Captain Marvel character, that she's as complex as some of these other
that's fair.
female like, I think Wanda's the most complex female character now in the MCU.
And because they do really just like bring Carol in for,
Yeah,
to save the day in random situations. And like,
yeah,
I don't know, I guess I need to rewatch Captain Marvel, which I'm literally not mad about at all because Carol and Maria, I love them so much.
right.
They're obviously together. I don't care what anybody has to say. Like, I won't hear it. Absolutely will not hear it.
I just think I'm like, I don't know, I'm just crossing my fingers that, like, coming into phase 4 of all the Marvel stuff that we're gonna get just better representation, and I don't only mean that on, like, in terms of, like, the women on screen, 'cause the women on screen are, like, few and far between, but I would really love for, like, more women to be
Behind the scenes.
behind the camera, yeah.
Hmm.
Like, I just think
And
that that's
writing and yeah.
right, because I think, like, the Joss Whedon
What a ride that has been as well. Mm.
oh, truly, like, is there any person that's not totally whacked out in Hollywood? Apparently not, but I think arguably he did the most damage to, like,
The
Black
franchise.
Widow's yeah, the franchise in general, but also,
Yeah.
like, just, like, Black Widow's character.
Yeah.
Like, I just remember seeing that film for the first time in the movie theater, and the scene where she's talking Scarlett Johansson's talking to Mark Ruffalo and talking about how she's also a monster, and
Mm.
even the choice of words, as someone who probably might struggle with fertility because of
Mm.
my endometriosis, like, I would never say, like, monster. Like, I'm not a bad
About
person.
yourself or about another
Right.
woman or yeah.
But, like, I mean, like, I get the feeling of, like, lack or
Yeah, 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 definitely.
sadness, but the way that it was written was like,
Mhm.
"What do you mean she's a monster because she can't have kids?"
Yeah.
Like, no, she's a monster because she's a fucking Russian assassin trained ballet
Uh-huh.
lady. Like, I just didn't get it. It was
Yeah.
just, like, one of those moments where I was like and I wanted to like it so bad, and I just remember being like, "What the fuck is going on here?" And also, like, she and Mark Ruffalo, I'm sorry, did not have any chemistry.
I, like, blacked that part out. Like, I know that and you're talking about it, and I'm like, "Yeah," but I couldn't tell you one interaction that they have together,
Well, and
you
it's
know?
like
Which
right,
is proves your point, yeah.
and I think in the winter so, like, Winter Soldier came out, I think, like, it might have been the last movie before the Mark Ruffalo ScarJo thing, but
Mm.
I thought she and Chris Evans have fabulous chemistry
Oh, yeah,
regardless
yeah,
of,
yeah.
like, whether
Uh-huh.
it's romantic or friendly
Yeah.
or whatever. They have great chemistry.
Mhm.
And so I think swerving like, Winter Soldier didn't necessarily give me, like, romantic vibes. It was more like, we trust each other, like, we're
Mhm.
friends, whatever. But if they had gone, like, in the next movie and Joss Whedon had been like, "Oh, yeah, she's gonna get together with Captain America," like, I could have at least been
And
like,
like, "Okay, I get it."
I mean, I get it. that's
Yeah.
fine. At least they like look like they like each other. At least they've looked in each other's direction more than one time in this
Uh-huh.
entire universe. But all of a sudden it's like, no, she's gonna sing
But
to
they
the
are not.
Hulk.
Yeah, that's all I ever think about is like, oh, she sings him a song. Like that's
It's not good. It's just, it's a no from me, dog.
big time. I guess to wrap it back around to
WandaVision.
WandaVision, Monica, I would also die for.
Yes.
Incredible, wonderful,
Mm-hmm.
stunning, amazing. Never been done before. What's that? Like the Lady Gaga thing?
Yeah.
I can't even. I was just like weeping during her like transformation moment. I
So
think
she's
I've cried probably
becoming
at every episode of WandaVision so far, but
she's becoming Spectrum, I think.
I don't even know. And I'm like,
So
yeah,
I'm like
sure,
really,
I'm here for it.
I was like super into the comics like high school, early college, and then I just kind of like, I don't know, like felt I get like
Yeah.
really obsessed and then just like leave onto another obsession. But I think she's becoming Spectrum.
I
I
feel
don't
like I've
remember
heard that tossed around on
all
TikTok
the
or something.
details, but it's like an energy sort of like power that she has, and that would be cool. Like I'm so into that. I
Mhm.
looked at Steven and I was like, "Oh my god, what if she gets her own solo movie?" And I was like, "No, that's way too good to be true. She's just going to show up in the next Captain Marvel movie." But
Yeah.
still
Mhm.
cool, like whatever. But yeah, I think she's probably, aside from Agatha Harkness, probably my favorite
Yeah.
in
And I
WandaVision.
love Agatha too. I did though see I love Tiana Paris, like the actress that plays Monica as well. And I
Mhm.
saw somebody on Twitter today post a side by side of like they were like just thinking, and it was her and a picture of Tiana and like Princess Tiana, and I was like, because I know people like get riled up and like about the casting of Tiana, which is fair. And but like I would die to see her play Princess Tiana. That would be so great.
Yeah, that would be so cool. Also,
Stunning.
like, I'd be very interested in like a Princess and the Frog movie where
They aren't
they weren't.
frogs the whole time.
Yes, yeah, like
Yeah,
that'd be cool,
like I'm sure there's some other adventure they could go on that we could think
right?
of.
Also, I remember when it came out, and I'm not discounting the fact that it was like the hugest deal that she was Disney's like first Black princess,
Mhm.
but I was like, do not slander the name of the Roger and Hammerstein Cinderella. Like I
Oh
got
yeah.
so heated when everyone on Twitter was like, "This is the first Black
Uh-huh.
princess." I'm like, "She's the first Black Disney princess." But listen,
Right. Mhm.
I think it was on World of Disney when the Whitney and
Probably.
Brandy one finally came out. That movie I had on VHS as a child, and I think I like wore that VHS out. It's so
I
good.
still have never seen that. I need to. I don't know why I never saw it as a kid, but yeah. Anyway, that was my brief tangent. I need to see her as Princess Tiana. But also back to that. Yeah, Agatha, incredible, stunning.
Oh my
I
god,
That's something I don't know about either. Like now I want to read more about like that
person
storyline and
character, yeah.
character and yeah, about all of that. And like I saw people talking about the twins in general, like on things, and I just am like, it's too much. The I know you, and I think in a text said something about like the multiverse stresses you out,
Yes, it does.
and I'm like excited for. I'm like, sure, yeah, start throwing people in there.
No, it freaks, and like it just like multiple realities already, like the concept of it just like confuses me.
Mm,
And I'm like, oh, I just, I can't, I'm not ready for all of this confusion. And like,
yeah.
this is like, I think part of the reason I was like, I got to put these comics down, like back in college. I was like, I'm just getting fucking confused about everything that's going on. And like people die and they come back. And I'm just like, I don't know. But I am excited for, I actually don't know a lot about the Agatha character because my retention, like, I don't know how your reading retention is, but like my retention for comic books and like book books is so
Mhm.
bad. Like I read a
Yes, because
book,
I finished the book. I'm like, what was that about?
you're right. And it's like I'll remember the weirdest shit from books. Like I'll remember like one specific
Mhm.
scene that almost has nothing to do with the plot, but none of the other important things. So
Yeah.
like I don't
And
really
when
remember
people ask for
anything.
book recommendations or something, I'm always like, I remember feeling like I really liked this, but
Right.
I
I don't
can't
know
tell you what it's
why.
about. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. People are like, "What's it about?" Look it up on Goodreads. I don't remember. I
Right.
really don't know.
Hmm, couldn't tell you.
But the Agatha thing, like, it's so weird that I feel like Catherine Hahn on Twitter, like everyone is like, oh my God, like it's like they're just figuring out she's like so
About Catherine
talented.
Hahn. Yeah. It's like the people just finding out that Elizabeth Olsen is related to Mary Kate. It's just Gen Z, like,
Right.
which not, I don't know. I really don't feel attached to millennial or Gen Z particularly. We're like right
No,
in
in
the
the middle.
middle. So I
I
don't know.
also will say though, like someone tweeted, or like I saw a tweet the other day that's like, if we're never like, we can never cast Catherine Hahn as the best friend again. Because, and I do feel that way. Like she's been in like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, you know,
Mhm.
Step Brothers, like just all of these things where she's played this over the top, weird, like side role. And I'm like, I do think Hollywood was out here wasting her talent because
Oh, sure.
she's so good.
She, I, mm, I just loved it. And I liked seeing more about her in this episode too. Like this most
Same.
recent episode. Honestly, the whole episode could have been about her just being a witch, doing her thing. And I would have been like,
Would have
great,
loved it.
run it again.
Right. I also saw a tweet where, so when she's like levitating above the twins.
Oh,
Oh, did you
about it
send this
being
to
like
me?
a no,
Disney
I
Channel?
don't think so. But yeah, it gave off such like decom vibes. And I was like,
Yeah.
yes, 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 yes. It was
Which
so
I
good.
loved. Like
Mm-hmm.
it just was like weirdly nostalgic without being super cheesy. I
Yeah.
don't know. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
But
Because a lot of stuff goes that way when you're like trying to be like, oh, it's like the old times.
yeah,
But like it was the perfect. I don't know if they meant to do that at all, but that was the energy that they brought to that scene.
they had to have meant like the like weird like
Yeah.
purple little wispies coming off her was like
Hmm.
very like reminded me of like the Descendants advertising,
Oh yeah.
kind of just the color palette and stuff. I was like, I
Hmm.
really love this. And my dream is for her and Wanda to become like not like friends, but like frenemies
Hmm.
where Agatha just like shows up at the worst moment and is like not like comedic relief, but like evil comedic relief kind of. Because she's so good at that. And I just
Yeah.
want more of her
I think that
all
would
the
be
time.
good. Where they're like they work together to like fix some, common
Big
enemy, but then
thing.
they're
Yeah.
still enemies with each other at the same time.
Yes. I love that.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Love it. Also, the line in this last episode that everyone has seen a million times on Twitter
I have thoughts about it.
in a bad way.
No. I
Oh,
have thoughts about the discourse about it.
oh, okay. I was just like, I love that line. The what is grief if not love persevering line. Like every screenwriter ever was just like, fuck.
Well, and then people got all worked up about that tweet about it, and I don't
Wait, about
know. I
which
think
tweet about it?
the tweet of people being like, "Oh," all the screenwriters being like, "Fuck," under their breath, like
Oh,
watching that
yeah.
tweet, or watching that tweet. Hello, watching that scene, and then people were like making fun of it, being like it was not that it was cheesy or I don't know. I didn't read a whole lot about it because I was like, I don't care if I enjoyed it. Like
I enjoyed it. So,
fine. Yeah. Like, was it the best line ever written in anything ever? No. But was it a good line? I think
yeah.
so. I think it was a really good line. So I don't know. I'm like, let people just have some enjoyment sometimes. And like, I don't know. People are
Fucking,
still just love to shit all over everything. And that's fine for them, I guess. But
I
like,
think like
keep it to yourself.
nerds are the worst. And I am like, I'm not saying like geeky. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I'm super nerdy, I'm super geeky, but like, there's like this type of like nerd culture that gets so toxic and so
Hmm.
exclusive and like nothing's good enough. And, all these people with these opinions, I'm like, do you write movies for a living? Do you write
Right.
critical
Have you
reviews of
ever
movies for a
written
living?
anything in your life?
If you aren't doing it, it's so easy to criticize stuff.
Yeah.
Well, like, I mean, I'm guilty of that too, but like, I also like went to school for that and, have worked in the field before, obviously not in a huge
Mhm.
capacity, but like, I don't know, like when I see people who are like accountants, just like out here, like, and that was so cheesy, blah, 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 and I'm like, okay, shut up. Also, if people
Yeah,
like it, just let them like it.
right. We get so little these days. Like,
Right.
we're all just trying to make it through. Let me enjoy my one line from
Yeah.
WandaVision and in peace, please.
Yeah. Like, it's fine. Like, just leave it alone. It was a good line. It like speaks, in my opinion, to like the time and place of like real life right now. Like
Mhm.
everyone is like grieving something, like whether it's like someone they
Yeah.
like actually lost or like events they lost out on or
Right.
things we can't do. And
Grief isn't just one thing, you know, it's
yeah,
a lot of things.
it was a good line. So people can shove it, truly.
You can't see me right now, but I did just flip off
The
both
camera.
cameras.
Mm-hmm.
One camera.
The
No
one,
hands,
both
one camera.
cameras.
Like, surprise.
As if we're like The Office, we have multiple.
Yeah. What if I just like looked off to the side?
Can you imagine if we started editing videos like that? Like we had multiple cameras and on
Oh my
YouTube we were just
God.
like, that would be so stressful, but funny. Also, speaking of like, well, that's not related at all. Speaking of nothing related to this at all, I was just going to jump to the Golden Globes. It's Marvel.
That's fine.
Chadwick won.
And I wept. Did you watch his wife's speech yet?
Yeah, well, I watched it last night. I had cried. So Hannah texted me about it.
Mhm.
I didn't watch the Golden Globes live because I knew it was going to be like fucking stupid and boring.
A lot of it was kind of like, okay,
Bad.
next.
And like the nominations were such BS this year that I'm just like not really interested. But I watched American Idol. American Idol last night fucking slapped. I don't know if it's because they knew that they were competing with the Golden Globes, but it was so
Um,
emotional and like so good. And every audition was like engaging and compelling, even if they didn't make it through. It was so, it killed me. And then Hannah was like, yeah, Chadwick won and his wife gave the speech. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to watch that tonight because I'm already like emo. And then
mhm.
immediately I walked downstairs and was like, no, we're going to watch that right now. We're going to do it. I thought it was emotional, but I didn't. Maybe I was all cried out. I didn't cry. I just, the whole show was so, like, I'm glad he won, and I'm really glad Rosamund Pike won for I
Mhm.
Care a Lot. Like, so, so good and so deserving of that, honestly.
I was excited for all the Nomadland wins. Like, obviously, I'm
Yeah,
so sorry, I don't know the director's name, but they won for Best Directing, and it was the second female director ever to win
yeah.
a Golden Globe. Like,
And the last
ever.
time someone won, I think it was Barbara Streisand for
Hmm.
Yentl.
Yeah.
I'm
Like,
like, how long ago
what
was that
the
even?
actual fuck? Let's see. Let me pull up my handy dandy
It's over 20
IMDb
years
app.
ago.
Mhm.
Way over 20 years ago, actually.
Yeah, 1983.
Holy shit.
So almost 40 years ago.
That's insane. I just like don't the whole Emily in Paris thing, Sia's movie that I don't even know the name of,
Yeah.
just like I don't like it's just crap. Like it's because it doesn't I mean, and it's weird because it's like obviously an honor to win those awards and I don't want to take away from the people who won. But like it's kind of like the Grammys and like what Halsey said about the Grammys and how the Weeknd got snubbed this year. Or did the Weeknd get nominated? Who else got snubbed? I thought the Weeknd did.
I don't know.
I don't know. But like those award shows are all just like it's political.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of like,
Except then I do want to feel good. Like Andra Day winning for
oh,
or
that was
Billie
so
Holiday.
cool.
Like, oh,
So
it was
cool.
so good. But like, I don't know. That really the Emily in Paris was I was like, oh my God, we gotta get out
Jane
of here.
Fonda's little thing was so cool. Emily in
Oh,
Paris
that was good too.
didn't win
No.
anything. Okay,
But
thank
just like
bless.
like oh my God, why can't I Lily Collins. I was like, why like do you think she knows that this is all just hilarious that Emily in Paris is nominated for something? You know, like
Like, how mortifying does that have to be
that's
in the
I would
show?
not want to show up. Like,
No,
mm-mm.
I wouldn't
They
either.
would have had that
Like,
little picture of me and
right.
that's it.
I would have been like, I'm not going.
Yeah.
Did she go? I didn't watch the whole
Yeah,
thing.
she did. But also, Jodie Foster won and accepted
Yes.
and was like with her wife, and it was so precious. And I was like, I didn't even know she was in a movie or anything. And like recently,
Yeah.
and it's her and Shailene Woodley's in it, who was like one of my OG, like I loved her
Girl,
so much back in the day. And
really?
I was like, I just think she's so pretty and so cool. And now I'm like, oh, duh.
I have never really liked Shailene Woodley.
I think she's not for everyone. Yeah.
Just not for me.
No.
Not
But now I
for
want to
me.
watch that movie because I'm like, obviously, I'm gonna watch her and Jodie
Right.
Foster. Love to see it.
Amazing. Did
Yeah,
anything else
there were a lot
interesting?
of
I thought the whole Golden Globes
Minari
thing was
won,
like,
which was great, but
oh yeah,
it shouldn't have been nominated for a foreign feature. Like
yeah.
it was literally an American anyway.
There's a lot
There
of
was
shit
whose
going.
comment? Oh, did you watch Rosamund's acceptance
Yes,
speech?
yes, I did.
That wasn't what I was going for just now. Anyway, but when she said, did she say Chris Messina specifically or something? She was like Chris in his suits, and like she mentioned specifically in
I
the
think so. Yeah.
and I had just been editing today of what we recorded last night of us being like, oh my God, Christmasina. I was like, this is so cute. But there was somebody's speech who specifically, oh, Sacha Baron Cohen. He was like,
I
I
didn't
want to
watch it.
thank, oh my God. I don't really like, I've never seen Borat. I didn't see the new one. I don't
No.
really like keep up with his thing.
Shenanigans, yeah.
Yeah. But he was like, okay, I want to thank the all white HFPA. And like, that's how he started off his speech.
Oh my
It
God, I
was
didn't know that.
so good. It was incredible.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
fast forwarded through that. We only watched like Jane Fonda, Rosamund Pike, and then the Chadwick Boseman thing. And like we saw Andrew Day. We just like skipped through kind
That
of.
was like towards the end. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh Overall it was like one long awkward Zoom meeting. Jason Sudeikis looked stoned.
I was
Um,
dying over him. He was cracking me up.
I like felt bad. I was like, "Are you okay,
Yeah, it was a
buddy?"
little weird, but then also, yeah, I saw a tweet that was like, can we talk about the, the standards of like being a woman versus being a man in Hollywood where you can literally show up to the Golden Globes in a sweatshirt, which like obviously this year is like
Different
weird and yeah, but like mm, all these women come like full decked out
makeup,
and you're like,
right.
yeah.
Everything
A lot of
is
men dressed up too as well, but like
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it was an interesting I just was like, I didn't particularly care for it. I was kind of like, this is just a weird celebrity Zoom call.
the best part was like when they were going to commercial breaks and stuff, you could tell that like they were grouped like by their categories in like Zoom rooms,
Yeah, yeah,
like breakout rooms. So
yeah.
there would just be like five of them talking and stuff. And it was like not embarrassing, but like kind of embarrassing to see them
Right. I
in
was
that
kind of
way.
just like, yeah, it was odd. I didn't like it. It's kind of how I felt about like the
The
last season
Emmys.
of Oh, did I even
Oh,
watch the Emmys? Oh,
I
yeah, I
did.
did. I did. I blocked that out of my mind too. That was awkward. That was weird. I
With
just
the
didn't
like
like
hazmat suits and stuff.
I think if I was winning an Emmy or
I
a
would
Golden
be
Globe,
upset that this is how it happened.
I would just be like, right. But I would also, I think, just want to have them like, I don't know. It was just weird to televise all this. Like
I
just
sometimes I think about that in general, like the ceremony of it all. And like I love a red carpet. I watch all the award shows
yeah,
usually, but then I'm like, does any of this even need to happen? I guess you
no.
could say that about literally anything in life, though. So I don't know.
Does any of this need to happen?
I think we should be recognizing art, sure, but
But is that what
like you
these
said
award shows are
before, like
about?
right, exactly. That's it
Yeah,
has become,
not
a
that.
place for people to do stand up and like, which is fine. I like Amy Poehler a lot.
It also does get like relatively preachy. Like I share beliefs with most of the people who win these awards. Like
Hmm.
I'm obviously very liberal, whatever, but it does like if I was somebody who was like in middle America and conservative or even like moderate, I'd be like, shut the fuck up. Like, what do you know?
Oh, yeah,
With
exactly. Like
your,
if my dad had walked in, he would have been like, "Ugh, ridiculous Hollywood, blah, blah, blah."
and I do understand that sentiment. Like watching people wearing $1 million of Tiffany's jewelry tell me, about like racism in America or
Mhm.
sexism in America or the barriers they faced or how, whatever. I'm just kind of like, there's a time and a place, and it's not
Right now.
now. Like,
Yeah.
it's interesting. Like, I think Frances McDormand's had one of the best, like, not, I wouldn't even
I
call it
love
political,
Frances McDormand.
but like her speech, I want to say it was for Three Billboards. I think it was about
Oh, yeah, yeah.
like pay equality and stuff. I thought that
Mhm.
was really cool because like, yeah, if you want to get up there and talk about something in your industry and like,
Right. Mhm.
good for you. If you want to get up there and tell me like who to vote for or like the economy or beliefs that aren't relevant to your industry, like it just comes off as so preachy and it's like a 3 hour.
Yeah, and I think like I try to remind myself sometimes that like celebrities are occasionally people and like have other interests and stuff,
Yeah,
but I'm just like so not in that world and this like like it's
right.
something that I will only ever view as an outsider, I
Yeah.
think. And as much as like you said, like I do like the sentiment, yeah, love it.
Yeah, like I agree with them. But
I don't know.
I would argue like it just like turns people off that have
Off.
different ideas. Like that night should really be about the art. And if you're the first, African American director to win for this certain category, like yes, highlight that. Yes, talk about that. If you're a white woman who managed to get her Black co-star the same pay as she did. Yes, tell other people to do that. Yes, it's relevant. But if you're gonna get up there and say like shit about politics, like you better have something to back it up. Because
Right, to
like
back it up. Yeah.
it's your time to recognize your art, not to tell other
Well,
people what
that's
to
why,
do.
yeah, like when Jane Fonda was up there talking about it, it was like you could go
Sure,
back decades
right.
to watch her activism. Like that makes sense.
That's like
But
part of her brand or like her career.
right.
Like that makes sense. But like when you get up there and you're winning like best actress or whatever, I'm like, to some extent, that's what you're there for. You're there to talk
Mm-hmm.
about, like, that's what I'm interested in. I love hearing them think, like, I love when they thank like the other people in their category and like talk about their
Yeah.
co-stars. Like, I think that's freaking adorable. Or talk about like Winslet had a speech once where she talked about like practicing her award speeches in like shampoo bottles when she was
Oh,
like just starting.
yeah.
Like that shit is adorable. But like, do I need your like political theory talk? No, not really. Unless you're Jane
I
Fonda.
know, well, yeah, I would be fine with hearing it from actors, maybe just in like another setting.
Context. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally, totally.
Just like not at
Like,
an award show. Yeah, that's
right, because I
fair.
think it's sad because I think it like like not eliminates. I think people just shut it off. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you're like living in bumfuck South Dakota and someone starts like preaching to you on the TV, like yeah, I get why you're going to turn it off, but then it's like it's so crappy that that happens because I think like the Oscars the other year, Parasite winning all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty accessible movie to watch. Like
Yeah, I
for a
think so.
foreign film, for a critically acclaimed film, it's very
Mm-hmm.
accessible, and so many more people I think could have been introduced to it had these award shows not turned into like political platforms. Because I think then there's some people that just don't watch now because of that. Like I know my parents don't watch that and watch them anymore because they're like over
Well,
the.
yeah, like my dad would never have watched them in the first place. Like me and my mom used to watch a lot, but like I genuinely didn't even know the Golden Globes were on yesterday until my sister was like,
I didn't know
"I'm
until
watching
you
the Golden
told me.
Globes." Yeah, and I was like,
I was like,
"Oh, it's
what?
7:45." I was like, "Okay, sure, yeah. I guess I'll watch."
But I
Like
think
I
that
had
just
no clue.
I think that like goes to show how like obsolete these award shows are becoming, especially as people like I especially as films become more accessible due to streaming and like
Mhm.
the way video on demand is working. Like as much as I shit on it and as much as I like say it annoys me that we're not going to see these things in theaters, and it does. Like I want to go see
Mhm.
them in theaters. For people who live maybe somewhere where a movie theater isn't necessarily super accessible financially
Mhm.
or like location wise
Mhm.
physically, the fact that you can see new movies like at home,
Yeah.
like now the convenience of that, and like it's just so cool because I think movies and TV and stuff are an art form that should be enjoyed by like whoever. Like and I think it's a medium where like you can reach so many different people. And so I think it's really cool, and I think we're seeing now like people who didn't used to care about what gets nominated getting involved because they have seen all these good movies,
Mhm.
and now there's like shit like Emily in Paris gets nominated.
Mhm.
And I understand a ton of people hate watched it. I understand that's why it got renewed for a second season, but what I don't understand is why it got nominated at all.
They had like a huge press thing at a hotel for half of like the voting members of the
I saw an
whatever
article about
like
that. Right.
yeah. And it's the yeah, it becomes that a lot of the times with movies too of people who can pay for their
Mhm.
votes.
It's wild to me.
Infuriating. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the equivalent of Red not winning a Grammy. Red by Taylor Swift deserved that Grammy for album of the year,
Who
but
won Album of the Year
fucking
that year?
Daft Punk
Oh, okay. People were really upset about Daft Punk the other day, didn't they? Like
break up. I like how you and
something,
I
I
are
don't
like,
know.
yeah, people were upset. We clearly don't
Not
understand
us.
no.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sad if they're sad, but
Yeah,
I don't
sure.
have a personal stake in it.
I don't know. Yeah, the Grammys, honestly, I feel like have been a hot mess for like ever and ever. Like, when was the last time the
Right.
Grammys were
When
good?
was the last time like anyone really, really cared? Like I think other music award shows, like the Billboard Awards and like other stuff. I mean, granted, those are still political, whatever, but
Mhm.
those seem to be more viewable and
Like,
entertaining. Like
yeah.
the
I
Grammys just
wish I
got like
watched the Grammys last year.
I definitely don't. I don't know
Did they
either. Like
happen?
that's I don't know.
That's why last night I was like, are these the Golden Globes like what was the time period for this? Because Anya Taylor-Joy was nominated for Queen's Gambit and for Emma, which came out this time last year, which was great, incredible. I loved it. Emma's probably my
You're
favorite.
right.
But I was like, oh my God, these two things came out like 9 months apart that she
Right.
was nominated for. So
That is weird. She also looked amazing.
incredible.
Unbelievable. She's another like white girl of the month that I don't necessarily not that I don't know. It's not that wow, can I say a sentence? No. It's not that I don't like her. It's just like I don't feel the same obsession with her that other people seem to. Like I think she's like interesting looking and like a very good
Yeah.
actress, but I'm not. I mean, last night, sure, like she definitely looked amazing.
I see her and I'm like, stunning, beautiful.
Cool.
I get
She's
it.
got such a unique face. Like
Mm-hmm.
she just has very different features, and that's what I like about her. Because like for me, Florence Pugh and who's the other one that I don't understand? Florence Pugh and
The one that we just talked about last night.
who?
Haley Steinfeld.
Oh, I don't understand that either, but I don't feel like she's like a lesbian icon as of right now. Florence Pugh and whatever. Florence Pugh is like, she looks just like a normal person to me. Like, I understand that she's beautiful, but if I saw her in public, I wouldn't like stare at her. Like, I wouldn't be like,
Yeah.
whoa. But like,
Yeah.
Anya Taylor-Joy, like if I saw her in public, I would definitely stare at her because she just has like a weird face in a really good way. But like, I think those people are interesting to look at.
I don't know, like the Golden Globes, what a time. Or I guess we'll have other award shows coming up.
When?
Those should
Where?
be fun. Will Jason Sudeikis show up once
In
again
a
in a
tie-dye
sweatshirt?
sweatshirt. I
I don't
loved
know.
that.
Yeah, I know, like not even like a solid color sweatshirt,
I'm
full
like,
pastel tie-dye.
I'm literally like, I really hope he's doing
Oh,
okay.
well, yeah, that's true. I was really excited for the girl who played Princess Diana. She
Oh, me
won her
too. Sorry, I didn't
category.
mean to yell.
And she in April is gonna they just wrapped Florence Pugh and Harry Styles and I think
Oh,
Kiki
right.
Lane and I think Gemma Chan was in it. I don't know. They just wrapped
I haven't seen
Olivia
her in a
Wilde's
minute.
movie. And now he's going to shoot another movie in April with the girl who played Diana in The Crown.
I'm not ready for all this Harry Styles content.
It's gonna be so bad. Like Dunkirk was a lot, and he was in that movie for like 5 minutes.
I know. Like I had such an intense One Direction phase in high school, and I know you did.
Oh yeah, for
And
in college and
yeah,
still.
but I had an intense. I have a signed One Direction CD before Zayn left. I think I said that in a really early
R.I.P.
episode.
Yeah.
But Harry was always my favorite, and like, obviously, I was right all along. But I'm not ready for him to be like a lead in
Yeah.
stuff.
Also, should we discuss? I'm still holding out hope, except for not really for his concert this fall, but Loverfest got canceled this weekend.
I don't want to talk about it. I literally like
Yeah.
got that Twitter notification and almost wept. Like I was just like, fuck. Because it's
I
one of
didn't
those
see it until
things.
like way later, and I texted Amanda and I was like, "What do we even?" It's like, "What? Okay, I guess it's just
Like I
canceled."
just it just sucks because it's like I just want to know when I'm gonna be able to see her again live.
I'm sad about it. I am not as sad as like my sister is about it, or probably you are
Oh,
about it.
I'm
Like
so
I
sad.
am, but also I'm sad because then it's like that was like Lover in particular, and now we have all this other content, and it's like, what does the future of a Taylor Swift show look like at this point?
Right. Right.
We don't know.
Anxiety inducing, honestly.
Uh, oh wait, that didn't one of the Folklore got nominated for a Grammy?
Yeah.
I think so.
She got nominated for a few Grammys, I think. Which is like cool. I'm happy. Finally they're
Yeah, right there. I always feel so conflicted about the nominations because of people that I enjoyed their performance or I enjoyed whatever art they put out. I'm like, yeah, so exciting. And then you
woohoo.
see the
Yeah.
list of snubs and you're like, oh god damn, like okay.
Right, right.
Yeah.
It's hard. I don't know. Like I think it'll be interesting to see in like the next 20 years how the landscape of like award shows and award
Hmm.
like acclaim for albums, movies, TV, like how that ends up working. Because I think the award show thing is like the ratings have been going down consistently like every year.
Hmm.
people have just been like pissed about it every year. I
Mhm.
feel like it's just like falling apart. So I'm interested to see how these like big institutions are gonna either switch it up or like go away. It'll
Call it
be weird,
quits on award shows.
right? Except I
I
want to
don't know,
see all your
'cause
dresses.
well, yeah, that's true. I just keep thinking about, like, watching Zendaya win an Emmy was, like, so emo for me, and I would, like, never want that to go away
Right,
for people that I care about so much. But then at the same
right.
time, you know, like, Aaron Sorkin winning for some I'm like, "Shut up, Aaron Sorkin." I
At least it wasn't James Cameron because that man is honestly, oh, or Quentin Tarantino. When he wins shit, I'm
Yeah,
like, he won. God, I forget what he won. He won
that's
Best
enough.
Screenwriter for Once Upon a Time in
Mm,
Hollywood, and he thanked himself. And I was literally like, can we never give him an award again?
ever. Never. Nope.
No. What a pretentious little fuckhead.
Oh, John Boyega also won. I forgot about that.
Oh, I missed that. We started
He
recording
won
it like partway through, so
oh,
I
yeah,
missed the
he won
beginning.
pretty early on, and Daniel Kaluuya, I don't know, I'm so
Yes,
sorry
yeah,
if
yeah,
that's
yeah.
not how you say his last name, won for Judas and the Black Messiah, and he was the first
Wasn't he
one of the
muted
night,
though?
I think, yeah, and he was, like, muted, and I saw somebody tweet and be like, "Okay, confirmed, the Golden Globes are racist," and I was like, it was a joke, but I was like, yeah, like,
Uh-huh. Wow, what is this episode even about? I don't know
I don't know, but I
anymore.
like it.
I Hannah goes, "I don't know, but I like it." I guess we could talk about, who they picked to because we've talked about The Bachelor. Did we talk about The Bachelor?
A while ago, yeah. Well, it feels like a while ago, I honestly couldn't tell you when it was.
I think it was the most recent episode that came out.
Probably, yeah.
I was gonna say something about, like, The Bachelor, like, them f announcing, the guy who's gonna be doing
Oh, yeah, we can discuss
After the
that
Final
for a
Rose,
second. I don't
because
know that much about it.
I have his book that I actually haven't read yet, but he is a commentator. I mean, obviously, I only know this because Steven watches sports channels.
That's what Summer
He's
said he did something with sports, yeah.
Yeah, he's a comment I think he used to play in the NFL, but he's a commentator on, like, ESPN, the sports network or whatever, and super funny, super, I feel like he's gonna be easy to talk to, like, I feel like he's a
Mhm.
good choice because I think he's gonna be inquisitive enough, but, like, not in a mean way or anything like that. I think he's just
Mm,
gonna be, like, really great at pulling
yeah.
details out, and then he has a series on YouTube called Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man,
Mhm.
and that series is, like, I haven't seen all of it, but, like, the videos I've watched have been so cool and so interesting. So I feel like he's such a good choice, and I love that they went outside of Bachelor Nation, like, because I was really expecting, like, Rachel Lindsay or,
Which, like,
like,
we she just needs, like, a vacation or a
Break.
something, or I don't know, like,
They need to fucking
the
pay her or something. I mean, I know that she's,
yeah,
like, making money, but I think they need to, like, just give her a fat check to be like, "Thank you for doing all this legwork that
for
our
all of this
franchise
work, yeah.
refuses to do itself."
I honestly won't be mad if Chris, never comes back, but
I don't know how I'll feel if he never comes back. I feel like
also, have you seen spoilers? Because, like or are you just assuming what happens at this point in time? I mean, obviously, we're very close, but Summer mentioned a spoiler.
I haven't seen spoilers, but I still firmly believe that Rachel wins and that they're maybe broken up, but I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't
You
know
can
either.
tell
Oh,
me
I
the
watched her
spoilers.
whole well, Summer said that he picks her, like, she does win from the
Okay.
spoiler that she saw.
Okay. I mean,
Um,
cool.
yeah,
Saw that one coming.
but right, from 8 million miles away. I don't it's gonna be a weird one, and I watched her did you watch her video, Rachel's video on Instagram?
No, I haven't yet.
It's, like, 7 minutes long. I think the only good point she makes in it is that, like, it's not, like, white people's place to accept her apology,
Yeah.
but that's pretty much the only out of the whole 7-minute video that I was like, "Okay." But I also watched it at, like, 1 in the morning, and I was, like, tired
I'll have to
and
watch it
so
because I thought her first apology, like, obviously she had help, but, like, and people criticized her for that, but I was also like, in a PR situation like this, you'd be fucking stupid not to ask for, like, advice
well, I
from
think that's interesting too because she mentioned in the beginning of the video that she was like, "I'm not supposed to say anything," or so like,
Right.
she's been told not to talk about it.
Well, so
Um,
do you follow Reality Steve?
no,
Okay, so he's, like,
but I
been
know of him.
yeah, he's been, like, the Bachelor spoiler for, like, forever.
Yeah.
But he tweeted when this whole thing first came out, before she even made the, like, the written Instagram statement,
Uh-huh.
he tweeted, like, that ABC was telling her not to say anything,
Yeah.
which I think, like, just reflects so poorly on the network, like, trying to do I mean, I think they sent Chris out there to, like, quote unquote solve the problem
Mm-hmm.
without needing Rachel to get involved. But I think then all they did was like literally pour gasoline on a fire and
On a
made it so
fire.
much worse
Yeah.
rather than just letting her say something. Like, who cares if it's against your like little policy about they can't talk until the end of the season? Like, who cares? Like,
Right. And
okay,
like
there's
it gets
something
spoiled every season.
right, and
Every
there's
single
something that
season.
needs to be addressed. So just let her address it. Like,
Yeah. Right. Like this moment overall, I think is more important than the Bachelor franchise. You know, like
right.
for us to just keep going without
But
saying anything about it or
have you seen the Taylor Nolan stuff?
no. Who's
She
Taylor Nolan?
was she was. Do you remember Corinne?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Do you remember the like therapist who was like like fighting with
Yeah.
her?
The girl who dated Derek for
I
a
think
long time
so.
after
I think
Paradise, I think. Yeah.
uh, she people found her tweets, and arguably the shit she was saying was like far worse than Chris Harrison, far worse than Rachel Kirkconnell, especially when you consider that she's a frickin' like therapist now. Like there
Yikes.
was one tweet she tweeted about like the solution to being like the solution to some like mental problem. She was like
Mm-hmm.
suicide.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a really
tweeted
hot take.
tweeted homophobic slurs, tweeted racist shit about Asian people.
This was like
Um,
recent that all of this was
no,
happening, or
no, she was,
oh,
but
okay.
like 2012, 2013, 2010 were the from.
Well, but
I'm
like, did it
surprised.
come out recently?
Oh yeah, like in the
Oh,
last
okay.
couple of days, in the last couple of
Oh,
days.
okay.
And to me, I'm just like, who on ABC's team is just like literally dropping this ball? Because they like,
Everyone, because they haven't ever been held to that standard.
right. But I mean, it's so weird
People will
because
get
they,
away with what they can get away with.
yeah, it's just interesting because they vet. I mean, the vetting process is pretty intense for that show, but clearly not enough.
But also not, yeah,
What a show. Will I keep
what a
watching
show.
it? Yeah.
Maybe we'll see who the Bachelorette is next season. I should not have even attempted to watch Claire's train wreck of a season.
Oh yeah, and I felt bad because I didn't watch Tayshia's season because I just like got fatigued.
Her, honestly, she was irritating me by the end because I don't know. I just don't like the guy that she picked, but I think they're still together. So
Good for them. Keep it up,
yeah.
guys. I think tonight will be fun because it's going to be dramatic and crazy.
Well, I want to hear what the other girls have to say, especially Piper's one of my favorites, and her and Rachel were
Love.
kind of like friends on the show.
Do you think they're going
And
to address the racism stuff tonight? I don't
I
think
think
they
so.
are.
Piper, oh, I don't know. Actually, yeah, that's fair because I don't know when this was recorded.
Filmed, yeah, that's what I'm interested to see.
Well, Piper posted a picture from it like earlier today and just said, "We need to talk." I was like, okay,
Ooh, I
all
hope they talk
right.
about it, but I just don't. I have no idea when they filmed this or like what the context is or
Yeah.
what. Um,
Well,
so
but if they
that'll be
had time to
interesting.
get that other guy to do it.
No, he's not doing it tonight. He's doing after the final rose.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So
Oh,
Chris will still be there tonight. Um,
interesting.
yeah, but
Well,
I want Michelle to be the next Bachelorette. I love Katie, but I
I
really
love
love
Michelle.
Michelle.
Yeah.
The show, fucking reality TV, man.
Gotta go fuel up for
Right?
being irritated for 2 hours straight.
We're having pasta, and I'm so ready for it. Honestly, I'm just like,
I'm having pizza with green pepper and onions. So
oh, love that. That's like my cup of tea right there, girl. That is
I
my
ordered that the other day
shit.
and my dad was like, "You don't want anything else?" And I was like, "No."
Onion and green pepper, and like if it's a fancier pizza place and you can put garlic on there too.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, my sister got these garlic knots and it came in like like a tin like thing that you get like takeaway.
Yeah,
And after she ate the garlic knots, there was just like this puddle of
yeah. Like garlic butter. Oh
mm-hmm.
my
And I was just
god.
like dipping everything in it. It was so good.
Wow.
Now I'm sad we don't have any of that left. I'm just gonna have to eat
Honestly,
plain pizza.
my stomach is like rumbling just a little bit thinking about eating now. Yum, 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 yum. Well,
Well, here we go.
we're gonna go
Fun
eat
episode.
and watch the Bachelor, whatever this is,
Who knows?
that franchise that we love to hate and hate to
Mm-hmm.
love. Yeah, thank you for joining us on this episode that was about not a whole lot, but a lot at the same
And
time.
everything all at the same time.
We did it for you guys.
Follow us on all the stuff.
Hmm.
Girls
Please
on Film
do.
Pod. Pay our bills.
Girls on Film Pod, pay our bills, except we haven't set up anything to make a profit off this yet.
Well,
Well, actually,
you know.
follow if you watched our YouTube and subscribed, then we could
Mm-hmm.
monetize it. So do that.
That's like
please.
really easy passive income. So thanks.
Please do that. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
We love you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.